Welcome back to the channel. So guys, most men nowadays need to live alone first before they move in with a woman. And the biggest reason why is because let's be real, man. When you move in with a woman, everything changes, right? Like, let's say you two were together, decided just to get a house together, and you guys move in together, especially at a young age. Majority of the time, I'm not saying all the time, but majority of the time it doesn't work out because things start to escalate. Like the relationship was well before you guys decided to get a house together. You guys were having intimacy and all that. Then all of a sudden it just starts to decrease because one day she get mad at you for something, you get mad at her for something, and you guys end up bumping heads, and you guys end up breaking up, and the relationship is over. Now you gotta move back in with your mama and living with your parents and all that, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's like us men, bro, you have to have your own as a man first, right? You know what I'm saying? I think men need to live alone first before they move in with a woman to know if, to know himself, to focus on himself. And I think the same should go for women as well. They should live alone first before they find that man, before they move in with a man. And I'm not saying you guys can't be together while you guys aren't living in the same home, but it's like, I think it would be healthier for the relationship if you guys don't live together. You know what I'm saying? You guys live separately first. You know what I'm saying? And then and this is my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should move in with a woman until you get married, until you put a ring on the finger. That's just my personal philosophy. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of men won't agree with that, but I think, in order for the relationship to be healthy, you need to live alone. Then once you decide to put the ring on the finger, you know what I'm saying, then you should let her move in with you. Then you guys can decide, okay, you guys can, save money, and then y'all come together and y'all end up buying a house somewhere, a nice house for you guys to stay in. But I think men, and women too, but especially men, need to have their own first. They, have your own car, have your own job, have your own money, have your own spot, have your own everything. My dad taught me that growing up, man. Hey, Jaden, you want to have everything for your own as a man. You want to have everything on your own as a man. You don't want to depend on no woman, because when that woman kick you out, where you gonna go? Especially if you broke, you gotta go back to mama house. Oh man, no, you definitely, then she leave, find another man that, has more than you. You all, you back at your mom's spot and you gotta figure stuff out. Bro, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have your own everything first. A lot of men want to move in with these women, and then, then she kicks you out. You gotta go back to your mama house and you gotta start from scratch again. Like, don't do that. You don't want to put yourself through that, bro. I'm telling you. That's why, I'm glad my dad installed that into me growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I had this mindset, that, man, I wanna move in with a woman. I wanna, I want my own spot, but I wanna move in with a woman first. But it's like, at some point though, you wanna focus on yourself. You wanna get to know yourself first. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing I learned, and that's another thing I learned from my situation. I think, I'm glad that I went through that, everything I went through my situation with learning about women and hypergamy and all that. I also learned, I remember this, the lady, the chick I was with, she was like, I remember we were having this conversation, and I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about, you know, whoever I decide to be with, I want to get a house together. She was like, no, you need to get your own spot first. Live on your own before you move in with somebody. And this is a woman telling me that. So it's like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? And she was right. Like, it's like, I remember my dad was telling me, and then she's saying that too. Is like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let me focus on myself. Let me go ahead and, okay, maybe I do need to get my own spot, focus on myself. You know what I'm saying? Get to know myself. You know what I'm saying? You know, build myself to become the man with value. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, once I decide to put a ring on the finger to the right woman, then, you know, then we can live together. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what men should do. I think men, personally, I think men shouldn't move in shouldn't move in with a woman until he puts a ring on the finger, until you guys decide to put the ring on the finger. And I think that would be healthier for your relationship. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I think your relationship would be even better if you guys don't live together. You know what I'm saying? And your woman, man, she can spend the night anytime she wants to. She can spend the night for 2 weeks if she wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But living together, that's a whole different ball game. You guys got to be ready for that. That's a big, you know, task to add. I'm not saying it can't work out. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know, you know, a lot of couples that moving together, moving out their parents or mom's house, and, you know, him and his woman, you know, decide to get a house together. And they worked out perfect. They live happy ever after. I'm not saying that's possible, but I think nowadays, just the way things have changed, I think it's better for a man to have his own first. You know what I'm saying? And then being on your own, man, you know, so far, I love being on my own. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no drama. I ain't got no mess. I ain't in no bull crap. Like, bro, I'm at peace. I'm by myself. You know, it was definitely getting used to, because I was always living with people. You know, my parents. You know, I remember me and my whole immediate family shared a whole house together before. Like, I always, you know, grew up living with people. But I think living alone, you know, I'm gonna enjoy living alone. I gotta, you know what I'm saying, get to know myself, man. But I just think that's my personal opinion. You know, most men should live on our own before moving in with a woman, because you always want to have your own first, fellas. You always want to have your own first. No ifs and buts about it. You know what I'm saying? You a grown man, bro. A woman can't, you know what I'm saying, can't, you know, lead you. You know what I'm saying? You, as men, we have to be the leaders. And I'm gonna make a separate video about that, about men being leaders. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be the leaders in a relationship, you know, in a relationship. The woman's supposed to follow our lead, not the other way around. A lot of these men want to follow these women lead. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. But, you know, nowadays, you know, I mean, yeah. You know, get your own first, have your own stuff first, always. Always, no matter what, no ifs and buts about it. I'm glad that my dad stole that to me at a young age. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad, you know, even that woman I was with in that situation was saying the same thing. So, because she was living on, when I was with her, she got her own spot. So, you know, even though we don't talk anymore, but, you know, it is what it is, right? Get your own stuff first, fellas, all right? But anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I will see you on the next one.